on about 1.25 inches of ice here in the parking lot right off Pleasantburg Drive. Here's what I noticed is going on. We went and looked at the road a little bit earlier. Clouds have been going back and forth across Pleasantburg Drive for the past hour. But what has happened within the past 30 to 40 minutes with this rain, the rain is actually making some of what has been scraped off. And then because of the low temperatures, it is refreezing again, which is making it really slick. And you're walking, it's almost like you're walking on marbles instead of a flat surface because it's rounded balls of ice now as opposed to one big flat sheet. Don't know if one's better than the other. It's either way. Here's another interesting thing. We've heard City of Greenville officials saying all day long they kind of don't even want folks out sledding. They don't want folks out walking in this because they don't want people getting hurt. Just within the past hour, I've had 2 people text me saying they got limeades with broken bones due to sledding today. So, stay inside. I know we sound like a broken record, but that really might be the best thing for everybody this late in the game, and we're not through it yet. Stephanie Trump, WFS News 4.
You know, in so many parts of Greenville, the state of Greenville, are so walkable. They just think, all right, let me get out, go down the street, go to a friend's house or something, but it is slick out there, really easy to slip and fall over yourself.
Let's be honest, it is beautiful to see. It does really and enjoy it, but yeah, it's dangerous.
Yeah, let's go ahead and head to downtown Greenville now. That's where our Tangle is. She's along Main Street. Tangle, where are you seeing? He's not one.
Hey, Sydney, will it rain? Here we go. We're back at hard. Like Trump said, it goes from light to hard. When you look at snow, snow is normally light and fluffy. This right here is ice. We got some sharp pieces. You can see right here on this rail, the water that's falling down, it's already frozen, so that's slick. We got this Jeep right here. You can see the water is turned into icicles. Up in the tree branches, looks like little crystals just hanging. It's beautiful. We know it's very dangerous. And then we take a look at the roads. We know that a lot of officials are asking people stay off the roads. It's very slippery and just not safe to be on. You can see a truck come out and plow it. It's already, it's still just a slippery mess here. Now we're back kind of in that light phase of precipitation. It goes hard, light. A few people walking around downtown, but again, if you don't have to be here, why? Go inside. Trying mentioning broken bones. That's scary. We don't want to have to deal with that. But for now, reporting live downtown Greenville, Taniqua Penix, WIFF News 4.
Taniqua, you said it. Why? Why? All right, let's take a look at conditions in Anderson.
Now, I just have to tell you, that's what I'm thinking. Not only in Georgia, right, but they've been watching our coverage. And my mom, when Maya came up, my mom texted me and she said, "Oh, y'all are doing such a great job." She said, "But I just love Maya." So Maya, y'all's hard work, all y'all's hard work, it does not go unnoticed. You were out there, you were bringing us the latest. Tell us what's happening. So Cindy's mom, thank you very much for this. I want to show you guys something. I'll show you some of the dangers of people, playing around on the roadways in their cars, doing donuts. But this is obviously a paper towel. I want to show you just how simple it is to lose traction on wet surfaces. Okay, so you have your dry wheels, okay? As it's touching the roadways, you know it's slippery, okay? So it loses its traction. This is just what we're talking about right here. And here in Anderson County, I'm told by the National Guard that are placed strategically in areas of Anderson County, looking out for, those people who are having trouble on the roads. And right now, they're helping numerous amount of cars. They're not helping them get to where they're going.
Cardosa, con bastante vianda. No. La sopa de agua caliente no usan. Ese Cardosa,
Those who are taking risks when they take to be helping those who need the help right away.
Vamos a entrar en el paso.
Highway Patrol, South Carolina Highway Patrol, and they're going to be getting in touch with me after, seeing these donuts being done right here and seeing several people along this roadway lose control. So hopefully in the next half hour or so we'll get them here and they can kind of talk about the engagement. I have more coming for you here in Anderson County. I'm Mike Hayden, WIFS.
The city president has announced following closures and changes to city services for Monday. out of the abundance of caution, the city of Clemson offices will be closed. There will be no cat bus service, and trash collection will be suspended until road
Mira,
conditions.
ve a tu cama, venga, tu
All
cama.
right, let's go ahead and head back to Western North Carolina, where our Nate Stanley is live there, bringing us the latest out of Nashville.
And Sydney, Nigel, what I'm learning about mountain weather is it's a lot like island weather. It feels like 1 minute it is pouring down rain, and the next minute, like right now, there's no precipitation. I mean, we were live, 10, 15 minutes ago, and it was coming down, I had to use an umbrella, and now it's not raining at all. But if we look behind us, we can see one thing that is changing. We're keeping our eyes on this mountain range behind us. We can see some fog and some clouds rolling in and out of that area. And just, you'll see in a matter of a few seconds, it changes very quickly. So of course, the wind and the conditions here, always in a constant cycle of change. As we mentioned, the last time we were live, we did see some precipitation. It felt like the weather kind of thawed out today. A lot of the ice that we had seen yesterday night had thawed out. A lot of the salt was doing a good job at melting things. But again, that would be great if it weren't for the freezing temperatures that we are expecting tonight and tomorrow. This water that's on the roadway otherwise would be totally normal, totally fine, but of course with wind and low pressure, that could turn into black ice very quickly and could make things very, very dangerous. We do have some updates that I mentioned from some of the local counties that we know this again is an area where a lot of folks were impacted by Hurricane Lee a year and a half ago. And so this is an area that severe weather rolls through. People are on alert. Over in Pennsylvania County, that's one of those counties that was hit pretty hard. According to the sheriff out there, they have around 11,000 power outages between Duke Power and Haywood Electric. He also says that they had seen some small, electric fires and some things they had to respond to, but thankfully there's been no serious injuries there in Transylvania County. In Henderson County, the emergency management there says if they were sitting on the line geographically, it kind of has very similar weather to what we're seeing, where it's kind of on and off, and sometimes it's freezing rain, sometimes there's no rain, sometimes it's cold, sometimes it's windy. But they said for the most part there, things are going pretty well. There's about 20 people in shelters there, in their warming shelters, and again, they have about 3,000 or 4,000 power outages there in Henderson County. Again, things here in downtown Nashville have been pretty quiet. That's one of the few cars that we have seen throughout the afternoon. There's only 1 or 2 places open here in downtown Nashville. A little bit odd for a Sunday afternoon, but again, officials thanking people for heeding the warnings, leaving the roads open for road crews and emergency services as well. Of course, we will be out here all evening keeping you updated. Again, we do expect the weather to drop and some of this water to turn into ice. For now, though, reporting in Nashville, Nate Stanley, WIFF News 4.
Nate, thank you. Freezing rain continues to fall in Hartsville, South Carolina. Look at this. This time lapse from overnight shows frozen moisture. I believe we had a time lapse, but let's talk about what we're seeing here.
Yeah, and I mean, even what has been crazy to me, even the craziness that we're seeing here, it's happening all over the country, right? We've got a vehicle reviewer in Shreveport, Louisiana, where their family was sledding. My friends in Nashville, Tennessee, the wind has snapped trees and fences in half there.
¿Cómo que ahora gana la pelea hoy?
Now, in Cincinnati, where totals
Sí.
there, like hovering around
La del vaquero con rosado.
inches of snow.
Ah, no sé, ¿siete,
Larger
cuatro?
amounts
Ya lo
in the
sé.
northern parts of that region. So this is just an expansive winter storm that we're seeing.
I would so much rather have snow.
That we've got, right? But we're optimistic, we're keeping y'all prepared. Let's go ahead and turn now to the northern part of the country. Massachusetts Governor Maura Healey is warning New Englanders to take this snowstorm seriously.
That means staying off the roads and to stay inside as her teams are out working to clear the snow.
Sherman Sacchetti from our sister station has more about this weekend's severe weather.
I'm Sherman Sacchetti in Framingham, outside the Mass Emergency Management Agency bunker. Governor Healey just updated us. She is urging people to take this storm seriously. A lot of snow is already falling. It's the light, fluffy kind of snow, but there's a lot of ice underneath it. She is urging people to stay off the road, stay away from the areas where the clouds may be, to give them room to do their work. She has some concerns about power outages. Right now, we can tell you that the Mass Pike, parts of it are down to 40 miles per hour. We can also tell you that there is a truck ban on all highways. Back to you.
So many school districts, colleges, and universities have shifted their instructional plans for tomorrow due to this weather. And you can find a full list on WYFF.com and scrolling at the bottom of your screen. Now, we've really enjoyed seeing your view of the storm from where you live. Keep sending us your photos and your videos on our WYFF4 Facebook page. We may even share them on the air.
Yeah, we've seen photos from all over our area, western North Carolina, all across the upstate. And like I said, even from different parts of the country, so please keep sending them in. We would absolutely love to see them. While you're doing so, though, make sure that you are staying safe. Make sure that your photos, maybe they're taken from the comfort of your home, just out the window, right? So just make sure that you're staying warm and safe and are prepared for this winter weather. And to know what's next, of course, we do want to go ahead and check in with Chief Meteorologist Chris Justice. Chris, tell us what is coming.
You're watching this closely, Sydney. We've got our sky cams giving us what's going on outside as we are to the final piece of this big batch of moisture. For some of us, it's the worst that we've had so far. That means we're starting to see some drying punch in here across north. Look at these trees. It is 30 degrees over
Sí, en todos lados, aquí, Tennessee,
It is
Georgia.
27 in Spartanburg, 31 northwest of Asheville.
No, pero me muevo y todo, pues el problema es que tiene agua, mucha agua congelada arriba.
Downtown Asheville, where this video is, it's 31 right now in Anderson. Now, let's look closer.
Vamos para el lado, hombre,
Wow, I mean, these limbs were upright. These trees are just kind of fighting right now, okay? They have a bunch of ice on them up here toward northern Greenville County, and any little bit of over here. Watch this tree for a second, all right? You see this kind of swing? This is a tall tree. It's just kind of hanging on. See it right down there? They're just kind of hanging on right there, and the wind is not really blowing a whole lot right now. As we go into tonight, the wind will start to go up to about 40 miles per hour.
Oh my God, ¿viste?
That's when we're going to have those trees start to go the other way.
Tonight 40 miles per hour. Entonces,
I'm afraid tonight they will. Let's look at the satellite radar. You see all the way down toward Metro Atlanta, that wedge, as I told you, it holds stronger and lasts longer than the models ever show, and it's doing so right now to where we've got
Una cubana dueña de una agencia de viaje en Hialeah. Esta fue a cubana.
observations of 32 degrees, sleet or freezing rain, one of the two. We've got heavy freezing rain right now in Taylor's, back through Inman. We've got a little bit of sleet mixing in. You see that blue looks like snow. Live Super Aquifer doing its best to try to identify the precipitation that's falling. Right now, it's probably a little bit of everything. Sleet and freezing rain, with rain back toward the mountains. That's where it warmed up. That northeast wind, and on the other side it warmed up, but instead that cold air just banked up against those mountains. Live Super Aquifer shows pretty moderate precipitation over Greenville. As we look back through Piedmont, Williamson, kind of the last hurrah. We're going to be through this within the next hour as drier air starts to punch in. You already see that happening across our Caesar's Head sky cam. There's drier air funneling in already. Back through Traverse, the worst is almost over with. Greenville as well. Back through Anderson, Oconee, back through Lounsville, Abbeville. You're still got a little bit of freezing rain to go, and then we'll settle things down for the night precipitation-wise. Then the wind starts to grow. Ice storm warning as we go through the rest of tonight. As you look at temperatures, I'm looking at the temperatures and the observations here. It's 32 in Pickens, while it's 33 in Walhalla. The last bit of this moisture pushing through right now, with most of us holding on right below freezing. It's 27 in Spartanburg, 31 right now in Asheville, 31 in Anderson. I want to show you the winds. Right now they're pretty calm. That's important because you saw that sky cam from Caesar's Head was very telling. It was swaying. And the winds are calm right now. It's just those trees have such weight. Remember we told you that a half an inch of ice weighs 500 pounds? Well, we're approaching an inch of ice in the northern parts of Pickens and Oconee County. You go through Seneca, right here through Dacusville, Pumpkintown, into northern Greenville County. We're between 0.75 and 1 inch of ice. Once it things out to meteorologist Bradford Ambrose. Bradford, imagine the weight. I mean, if we're doing the math here, that's 750 pounds to 1,000 pounds of weight on those limbs, just kind of holding them down. Imagine what happens when we have that wind come through tonight. That's the concern we have.
Well, it is. And Chris, I do want to mention that I just checked the numbers here, and more than 70% of Raven County in northeast Georgia the whole county, 70% of the county is without power right now. Combined, Pickens and Oconee County combined, 20,000 without power, and we are now starting to see some of those power outages increase into Henderson County and also in Transylvania County. I will say, like you mentioned, our saving grace right now is the wind is relatively calm. I think the wedge is starting to break just a bit as the cold front is working in from the north and west. The wind is not expected to be really that strong here within the next couple of hours, but once that front does go through later on tonight into early morning hours on Monday, that's when we're expecting those wind gusts of 30 to 40 plus miles per hour, where we'll likely see another spike of those power outages. All right, I want to show you real quick. I'm going to have Don look at the flags up here. Chris, you did mention about the calm winds. Right now, they're not really blowing. Obviously, the wind's right now about 5 miles per hour or less. So that's a bit of the good news here outside, where the calm, where we can actually see the wind, and this flag's really not blowing at the moment. Now we've left the thermometer out here, kind of waited and seen the ice accumulation on the thermometer here. And you can see we've got a decent coating here, and still seeing some freezing rain with sleet pellets mixing on air. So we'll say after the last time you joined me, precipitation lightened up just a bit. But I would still call this moderate precipitation right now. Mostly freezing rain, but there are also some sleet pellets mixing on in. So looks like we still have a little bit more to go back off toward the west, Chris. Maybe some redevelopment here. So obviously we've probably got at least another hour or two at least to go on precipitation wise, as those temperatures really hovering close to freezing or slightly below. Chris?
That's right, Brad. We're watching that closely look at the next 4 hours. Great visuals out there. Just saw a picture from Travis Rest at how it almost looks like an inch of ice around a power pole outside. We just incredibly ice that we were able to in just a matter of hours. Just really heavy freezing rain. But we're almost there. We're almost there with the worst of precipitation. Like Brad had mentioned, our winds stay calm, and the temperatures pretty much remain steady in the next couple of hours. So once that gets clear later tonight, we'll see all of it clear out. What's going to happen here is that northeast wind breaks down, and that wedge breaks down, and what happens is the backside of this front will actually cross through after midnight, and once that does, our winds will shift to the northwest, and that's when some colder winds will bring in. We're not talking huge winds for everybody, but the models that I'm seeing right here do have those gusts in the mountains. After we get through midnight, 2 a.m. to 3 a.m., we've got those gusts approaching 15, 20, by 2 a.m., 20, 30, and then by 5, 6 a.m., we've got 20 to 40 mile per hour wind gusts across Greenville, northbound. And remember, those are the areas right now that have the highest ice flows. That is when we start to see the power go out. We'll probably have these numbers go from 20, 30% to even higher. Look what's happening in Pickens and Oconee County, like you mentioned there, Brad, for 20% of the county without power. Raven County, 80% of the power. There's Raven County, there's 3 folks in South Carolina that don't know. This is going to be a big concern as we see probably the power outages growing into tonight as we even just kick up the wind a little bit. Notice how those trees were swaying with calm winds. And the concern here, folks, we are going to stay cold. We're going to be into the single digits and almost in the mountains there as we go into Tuesday morning. So the 4-day looks like this. Got a comprehensive look at the forecast. I'm very concerned about the next 48 hours. We do get some melting, but look at these low temperatures. We're talking single digits to around 10 degrees. Each day we get some thawing, we get some melting, and that'll continue through the end of the week, I'm afraid. As we get toward Friday, still some black ice. The weekend's looking nice as we finally start to climb out of this hole. We'll be right back with more coverage of this winter storm.
We are the South Carolina Forestry Commission. As an emergency response organization, we work to prevent and suppress wildfires statewide. As an economic development institution, we help recruit forest products industries to South Carolina. As a customer service agency, we work with landowners large and small to help them manage their forest lands to the maximum potential. As a champion for natural resource conservation, we teach environmental education to students and even train teachers how to do the same. As a purveyor of scientific and sustainable forestry, we practice and preach on state lands, advancing tree genetics, conducting prescribed burning, and optimizing forest land for many uses. The work we do supports the responsible and sustainable growth of the state's woodlands, the industries that use them, and the quality of life their bounty supports. We are the South Carolina Forestry Commission.
South Carolina forests, they'll grow on you. When weather changes by the hour, you need accuracy in action.
It is a frigid night taking shape.
Trust the WYFF News 4 weather team preparing you for impacts today.
The big changes on the way.
I would have knit in a scarf, maybe a hat.
And what's coming next?
Dusty winds, heavy and downpours.
Certified most accurate, backed by experience.
Those winds are eventually going to pick up and really intensify.
Keeping you prepared throughout the changing weather. WYFF News 4.
The smart start to your morning. Thanks for waking up with us on Destiny Jam.
Larry Baker.
Breaking news right now.
This is an exclusive look from Sky 4.
Covering more places.
Second report live in Greenville, in Hartford County, now to the contaminate.
More stories that matter to you. We're watching this heavy rain off to our west. The area's certified most accurate forecast and traffic updates to keep you on time. Live, local, breaking news for your morning. Wake up and watch WYFF News 4 today.